What's good, YouTube? I'm back here with another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about what it was like being a barber during the pandemic. I know a lot of people don't know what it was like to be a barber. A lot of people ask me when they come in the shop. I feel like our story is sometimes different than everyone else who works a regular 9-to-5 job. So I moved here to Arizona in 2019 on Thanksgiving Day. By the time the pandemic hit, I hadn't even been here a year yet. The pandemic hit. We shut down about a week before the rest of the barbershops in Arizona. When we shut down, they didn't give us money or anything like that, so we had to pretty much figure it out. Eventually they started giving people unemployment. When I filed for unemployment, they told me you cannot get unemployment because you have not lived in Arizona for 2 years. I didn't get a chance to get any money or anything like that. It was hard, man. There was no guarantee that the shop was gonna open up on this specific date. If you had bills, you literally had to just push them back and push them back, and basically if you didn't save up, you were almost screwed, and it was hard to catch up for a little while. And this is very important to know, because I feel like a lot of barbers don't save money, and I think as barbers, you know, you never know what's gonna happen. You have a lot of rainy days sometimes, and you need to prepare for that. They basically told me, you know, we ain't giving you no unemployment. So I was like, okay. Mind you, I had been here less than a year, so I didn't get a chance to build up a clientele the way these other guys have it. Also, I live in an apartment. I don't have a garage where I could just be like, hey, you know, come get a cut. So what I had to do was, there was like 5-6 clients. I had to go do house calls. It was a struggle because, you know, you gotta time the commute between each cut, and then you gotta go from there. I couldn't give someone an exact time on what time I'll be at their house, because it was like, I didn't know. That commute is different, man. It makes it way harder. Like, you know, in the shop, you're back to back to back, versus going to someone's house. It's like you go there, you cut one haircut, the next person could live 30 minutes away, and then you get there, you gotta set up, you gotta do all this other stuff that, you know, people don't think about. And then on top of that, when you go to people's houses, the lighting is not always right. You know, you might need a chair, you might bring a chair with you, you gotta find a place to plug in your clippers, stuff like that. And people don't know that. Like, they think, oh yeah, you can just come to my house and charge me less for a haircut. Like, no, I'm gonna charge you more because of this. When I went to people's houses, I only cut like less than 10 people that I was already cutting, that I already knew and, you know, I had a relationship with. Cutting those few people really got me by. That's like all I had. And then when I got back into the shop, like during the pandemic, we first got back into the shop, I want to say it was like May. We had been closed for, I want to say 1 or 2 months, one or the other. A lot of people didn't come back. A lot of people I still haven't seen to this day, and we're what, year and a half later? Like I still haven't seen these same people. It's kind of crazy, because I had people that I had never met before calling me like, hey, can you come to my house and cut my kids? And it's like, it's a pandemic. Where are you gonna go? You know what I mean? You don't have nowhere to go. But there were still a lot of people who wanted haircuts. Here in Arizona, barbers were on the essential list for like a week, and then the governor took us back off. Whether or not we are essential, I don't know. I don't want to say we're essential, because if it's a pandemic and I'm sitting at home, I'm not really going anywhere. But there are like police officers and things like that that probably did need a haircut. But I had to do what I had to do for my family. I feel like they weren't looking out for people like us. They made it really hard for me and my family. I mean, of course, a lot of people got behind in bills and stuff like that, but it was harder because all these exact dates that they gave us, they kept pushing back and pushing back and pushing back. And then you got rent due, and it's like, okay, well, I gotta push rent back. Then when I come back, I gotta make enough money to make up for that. And then they didn't realize, like, you go back to the shop, you got like the first week is busy because everybody wants a haircut. The second week is like dead because people are still afraid of the virus. Fast forward a little bit, you know, now a few people are starting to come back, but there's still quite a few people that I haven't seen since the pandemic. And it's getting busier for us. It's picking up a lot. But now with this new Delta variant, it's like, you don't really know what to expect. Are they gonna shut us down? Are they not? We don't know. There were benefits and stuff like that, and they started giving more unemployment and things like that, but it's like, I'm employed now. I can't even get it. But also, I didn't want to get it because I feel like I'm in a much more secure place now. I feel like those benefits should go to people who actually need it. There's a lot of people out here taking the benefit to benefit themselves when they could like literally just go back to working, but they refuse to. Me personally, I'm not gonna take benefits if I don't absolutely need it. The entire time that I wasn't able to work in the shop, I was literally working. My wife, she still worked, thank God. But other than that, like the virus it was a struggle for a little while. I only made like a little bit of money. I didn't make enough to pay rent. I made enough for us to make sure we were fed and things like that. And a lot of people don't realize that like we don't get paid hourly. We don't get paid unless we're cutting someone's hair. You know, we can't pay our bills unless we're cutting someone's hair. That's how it was for us in the pandemic. I haven't caught COVID. And everybody in my family seems to be safe. No one in my family's really been in a bad position. I got a cousin who caught it, but other than that, like we've been safe over here. Everything's been good. I think the toughest part about COVID was when you're used to being on your feet all day. Like I had to sit home for a while. A lot of days I didn't leave the house. I couldn't leave the house because they had us on lockdown. We could go to Walmart. That's really about it. Like I'm used to making money like this, like back to back to back, and to go from that to like having pretty much nothing. Like I probably made less than $100. There were clients that took care of me. A lot of my clients took care of me. I didn't charge my clients any extra because I know everyone was struggling with this whole pandemic. So I didn't charge them extra, but a lot of them took care of me. They tipped more because they knew what was going on. Those clients I always make sure I take care of. A lot of clients, I feel like I'm only gonna take care of clients that take care of me. And I'm not gonna go the extra mile if you can't respect my time and things like that. And the people that I cut were people that I knew for sure would respect my time and things like that. And that honestly made me closer to those people. And a lot of these people that I cut had just moved here. Like a lot of people just moved here right before the pandemic. That's when I met them. Like a lot of my clients came from, oh, I just moved here and I was looking for a barber, or I need a new barber because my barber moved, or whatever the case may be. So a lot of these people were just like me. They just moved here. Either you could go back to work or you could get unemployment. I couldn't get either. So I had to do what I had to do. You know, a lot of people are judging people for cutting hair and things like that during the pandemic, but it's like, what do you expect us to do? We are barbers. We have to feed our family just like y'all gotta feed y'all family. You know what I mean? That was how the pandemic went for me. Now, I know a lot of people had it worse. I heard places in like California, they've been locked down. They were locked down for a really long time. And I know a lot of people are homeless today because of that. You know, a lot of people struggled a lot. There's a lot of states that they were locked down a lot longer, and whether or not they could get unemployment, I'm not sure, but barbers definitely struggled a lot because we are self-employed. I just wanted to fill y'all in, let you guys know what we went through during the pandemic, share my story. I'm sure a lot of barbers have very similar stories. You know, we struggled during this pandemic, and I feel like the government probably didn't really look out for us as much as they did for these bigger corporations and things like that. I seen so many small businesses shut down in the same plaza that the shop I work in is at. I want to say there was 3 or 4 small businesses that shut down, which is sad because a lot of these businesses have probably been there for a while. So yeah, I just wanted to fill y'all in on how it was for us and my experience personally, and probably somebody else's experience. Thank y'all for listening. Share this video, leave a comment what you want to see next. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.